world seeing this tonight, an assassination attempt on the former president. Good evening. Thanks for being here with us. I'm Alexis Cruz.
And I'm Jim Grimes.
6:11 p.m. That's the exact time a sniper tucked away on top of a building across the stage from where the former president was giving his speech fired his first shot.
Yeah, we want to update you right now on the very latest that we're learning coming out of Butler, Pennsylvania tonight. Former President Trump, of course, surviving that assassination attempt. To recap, Mr. Trump speaking at that rally, shot in the right ear, taken to a hospital nearby. Trump appears to be okay, but the gunman who was taken out by Secret Service fired several shots, killing one spectator, injuring another person. Witnesses say it took a few moments to realize exactly what was happening.
I heard the shots. I thought it was firecrackers to begin with. Somebody over there was screaming, "He's been shot."
CBS 12 News has team coverage tonight. Our Danny Travis is live outside Mar-a-Lago, where some Trump supporters have gathered, and reporter Kayla Gaskins joins us from Capitol Hill with what we know about the developing situation. We start with Kayla tonight.
Donald Trump releasing a statement in the hours after the attack, saying he was shot by a bullet that pierced his upper ear. He also thanked the Secret Service for their action and gave condolences to the rally attendee who died. Trump's campaign confirmed the former president is fine and that he was checked out at a local medical facility. A political rally turned into a crime scene.
This is a big crowd. This is a big, beautiful crowd.
As the former president spoke to his supporters in Butler, Pennsylvania Saturday, gunshots ripped through the air. Donald Trump seen reaching for his ear before dropping to the ground. Secret Service immediately rushing the stage to surround him. Screams heard in the crowd. After a few tense moments, the former president on his feet. Blood spattered across his cheek and ear. Trump giving a fist bump as Secret Service whisked him away to the hospital. The Associated Press reporting the shooter is dead, along with one rally attendee. President Biden spoke to Trump following the shooting and earlier condemned the violence.
There's no place in America for this kind of violence. It's sick. It's sick.
Republican House Majority Leader Steve Scalise was shot in 2017 by a left-wing activist. On Saturday, Scalise writing, "For weeks, Democrat leaders have been fueling ludicrous hysteria that Donald Trump winning re-election would be the end of democracy in America. Clearly, we've seen far-left lunatics act on violent rhetoric in the past. This incendiary rhetoric must stop." We spoke with a Trump supporter who was 6 rows from the stage.
Just a sad day for America. Just a really sad day for America. The vibe was, it was open with prayer. People were united. This is America. This is freedom, regardless of your politics.
This rally was supposed to be a celebratory moment for Trump heading into the GOP convention in Milwaukee that starts Monday. The convention will no doubt have a very different feel with tighter security now on tap in the wake of Saturday's shooting. In Washington, I'm Kayla Gaskins.
Donald Trump taking to Truth Social tonight, saying in part, quote, "I want to thank the United States Secret Service and all the law enforcement for their rapid response. Most importantly, I want to extend my condolences to the family of the person at the rally who was killed, and also to the family of the other person that was badly injured. It is incredible that such an act can take place in our country. I was shot with a bullet that pierced the upper part of my right ear. I knew immediately that something was wrong. In that, I heard a whizzing sound, shots, and immediately felt the bullet ripping through the skin. Much bleeding took place, so I realized what happened. God bless America," unquote.
Well, anytime there is news surrounding Mr. Trump, it's not unusual for his supporters to gather near his Palm Beach home. CBS 12's Danny Travis is joining us tonight just off the bridge that leads up to Mar-a-Lago. And Danny, what kind of reaction are you hearing tonight?
Yeah, Jim, well, this side of Southern Boulevard Bridge where we're at right now is usually where people gather when the former president is in the headlines. And Jim, an assassination attempt is certainly just one more reason for people to get out here and show their support. Now, we have been out here near Mar-a-Lago for a few hours now, and while it's much quieter out here now, as you can see behind me, not much going on. That was certainly not the case earlier when crowds were growing by the dozen.
I just thought it was crazy. You don't want him to get assassinated. I just want a fair race, and so I was like, wow, that's tough. But he's good. He's okay. That's all that matters.
The same moment that he got shot, the Secret Service jumped on top of him. He went up with the fist on and said, "Fight, fight, fight."
Honestly, I wasn't surprised because everything that they have done to him with the cases, with the indictments, it's all political, you know, that's all, it's all political. So this, to be honest, it was expected.
I said, you know what, we got to pray, we got to come out and rally people. So I got the group together and we held hands today and we prayed for President Trump's protection. We prayed for his family and we prayed for the person that lost their life, that comfort their family, and pray for our nation to heal, you know.
Now, I did reach out to the Palm Beach Police Department to see if they would be ramping up their patrols here in the area for extra safety precautions. However, I have not heard back. Reporting live near Mar-a-Lago, I'm Danny Travis, CBS 12 News.
Well, we're also hearing from local law enforcement tonight. Some of the sheriff's offices have been sending us messages saying that they're wishing Mr. Trump a speedy recovery. Over in Indian River County, however, the office there specifically noting our members have been notified to stay on high alert and be prepared to respond as needed. Although there have been no reported threats in our area, our SWAT teams and other specialty units have been placed on standby. They go on to say that this event has the potential to raise tensions, and our role as law enforcement professionals is to protect our community from any potential harm. Again, this is from the Indian River County Sheriff's Office.
Florida's top political leaders also expressing their support for the former president. Governor Ron DeSantis, Senator Rick Scott as well. Let's get to Governor Ron DeSantis' statement here. He says him and Casey are praying for Donald Trump and his family. And as we move towards Rick Scott, I am so thankful for the heroic agents who rushed in to protect President Trump. They are heroes. The director of the Secret Service needs to come out ASAP and let us know how this happened. We are hearing a lot of people questioning the Secret Service tonight. Now, as we move towards the next tweet, we've got Representative Brian Mass. He says, Brianna and I are praying for President Donald Trump and his family. Stay strong and keep the faith. Now, he serves portions of the Treasure Coast. We also have Florida Attorney General Ashley Moody reacting tonight. Trump injured at a rally in Pennsylvania, praying for him and his family. Senator Marco Rubio, who's been floated as a possible vice presidential pick, also taking to social media, expressing God protected President Trump with this famous photo that you're going to see everywhere as we continue through this coverage and people continue to react to what happened tonight.
All right, thanks, Alexis. Well, you're taking a live look right now over the White House. It has been a busy week in Washington, President hosting NATO leaders. But tonight, the president is at his home in Delaware. But we are learning that he is heading back to Washington earlier than planned. He addressed the shooting. Take a listen.
I have tried to get a hold of Donald. He's with his doctors. Apparently he's doing well. I plan on talking to them shortly, I hope, when I get back to the telephone. Look, there's no place in America for this kind of violence. It's sick. It's sick. It's one of the reasons why we have to unite this country. We cannot allow for this to be happening. We cannot be like this. We cannot condone this.
Vice President Harris also responding in a statement, sending well wishes to Trump and his family, to anyone impacted, adding that violence such as this has no place in our nation. We must all condemn this abhorrent act and do our part to ensure that it does not lead to violence. Mr. Trump thanking his Secret Service team tonight and all law enforcement for taking out that shooter. Joining us right now live is Tim Miller. He's a former Secret Service agent, a regular contributor here on CBS 12 News. As always, Tim, we appreciate you talking with us. Give me an idea. Obviously, a lot of people just surprised that this shooter was even able to get into this secured venue.
Yeah, that's a big question to be answered, to be honest. You know, the Secret Service operates in rings of protection, and certainly anything within the range of a rifle is a prime concern. And so there's going to be a lot of details coming out. I was very impressed by the response after the shots. But remember, again, the Secret Service's job is to be proactive and make it not happen. Now, I will tell you that they've been incredibly busy on the campaign trail. And the reality is that a former president does not get the resources that a sitting president would have. So I'm sure they're tired and stretched thin. But with that said, we train every day with the hope and prayer that what happened today is not able to happen.
You know, when you think about it, it feels like this is an impossible task to take this number of individuals to try to secure one man. That's a tough task when you look at the size and scope of what they're dealing with at some of these places, like they were in Pennsylvania today.
Well, that's exactly right. And remember, a rifle's not the only threat. You can have, all kinds of threats, vehicles, bombs, and the list goes on. And that's why the Secret Service is always training. And I'll tell you, they train harder than any organization. I was a Marine officer. I trained hard. I was a police officer. I trained hard. But when you went to the Secret Service, you trained all the time to protect against a variety of things. And I think you saw that training become fruitful today once those shots were fired. They were as good as it gets in terms of what we call cover and evacuate, covering the president with their own body, putting their own lives at risk, and then getting him out of there. And I got to tell you, I was blown away by the president's response to get up, have the presence of mind, to shake his fist and to demonstrate strength, because it would have been easy, when you're shot, that's a horrifying experience. It would have been easy just to go with the detail, who was very anxious to get him out of there and to get him into the armored vehicles.
What changes now? Obviously, this is going to, people are going to be wondering if he's going to be holding any more of these types of rallies. What will change for the Secret Service and for Mr. Trump and his campaign moving forward?
Well, I think the obvious thing is that there needs to be more resources applied. The president moves all over. I have been with him. He has amazing amounts of resources, which he should. But when you get a serious candidate, you also have to have serious amount of resources. And I think the biggest takeaway, to have an uncovered roof within rifle range in an uncontrolled building, Houston, that's a problem. And so I think the investigation is going to show us a lot of things that need to be improved. I think kudos go to the agents today on the ground, though, around the president. They did a fantastic job, but there's some changes that need to be made.
And Tim, quickly, just kind of respond. We heard some witnesses say that they had seen the gunman well before the shooting ever took place. Why is it that the Secret Service agents didn't spot him as well?
Well, that's a great question and something to be answered. I know we often partner with our law enforcement team, and sometimes we'll share coverages with SWAT teams, and I wish I had an answer. I don't. That's a big question that needs to be answered. We learned the lesson the hard way in 1963 with President Kennedy. You can't leave roofs or open windows in buildings unguarded. So that's a big takeaway.
All right, Tim, thank you as always for joining us tonight on CBS 12 News. We look forward to talking to you in the next few days, hopefully, as new details emerge. But again, much appreciated.